Again, Sam came and got me. She was disappointed. She said, I told you to stay. But she took me in again for another like 6 months. Her husband, David, I started to get older and get real pretty. You know, my body was intact. I didn't really have no weight on me. Like right now, I got like big breasts. I got like a little bitty stomach, but not really. I'm considered on the thick side, you know what I mean? But then, like, I was just like Coca-Cola bottle shape, like breast size maybe was a C cup. I had a butt. I wore a size like 7, 8. You know, back then that was kind of like thick. You know, I didn't have no stomach. And I had always had long, pretty hair. And you really couldn't see my spots on my face. I had contacts in. You know, I had the whole thing going on. And it's just like her husband became more attracted to me. I would try to touch on me. And I didn't know how to tell her. And so I started being mean to him and stuff like that, to the point where he built up a tolerance to kind of hate me because I wasn't having it. I wasn't going to let him just keep touching on me. And they started putting more and more pictures out around me, and I think somebody had called and said they had seen me in an apartment complex, and my auntie had came and knocked on Sam's door one day. Dezina auntie, she came and knocked on her door, and Sam had answered the door, and she was like, who are you? And she had said who she was. She was like, who are you looking for? She said, Adina. She said, don't know Adina live here. So my auntie had left. But being as my auntie had came over, Sam had told me to go and spend a few nights next door. In case she did come back and they searched the house or something, I wouldn't be there. So I did just that. But those 2 nights, man, I was away from her. I felt like I was away from my mom. I missed her so much. Like, I just wanted to be in the house with them and my family. I just felt like I just was missing her, you know. And I'm sad when I talk about her now because she just recently died, like a couple years ago. And all my life, I just used to wish I could run away from each foster home to get back with her and live with her. And I started getting smarter, using 411 to try to contact her, see where she was at, so I could run away and be back with her. And she started telling them not to list her, so I couldn't find her, so I can just stay where I was at because she didn't want to go to jail. And when I got grown, I had finally ran back into her, and we was talking on the phone, and she was supposed to come visit me up here in Toledo. And then I finally had got a call like a month later that she had died, and I was just so hurt because I felt like I loved her so much. I wish she could just understand exactly how much I love her. If she could just be around me and I could express to her, thank you so much for what you did. Thank you for keeping me when no one would, you know. I cried so much when I found that she had died. I was so hurt. I was so hurt. But this is how I had got caught when I stayed with her, because David, her husband, that was touching on me. One time I was outside playing. The kids were outside. It was summertime, so the kids didn't have no school. And David, he called me. He was like, your mama on the phone. And this was like 2 days after I was staying at the next door neighbor house because I didn't want to get caught. I had finally started going back home to the house. And so anytime she called, we had to talk about things to make sure, you know, if we was in risk of getting caught or what we needed to do. So, of course, I ran to the phone. I loved her. I hurried up and ran in the house to go get the phone, only to walk into a house of lies. Like, it was a setup. When he said Sam was on the phone, I came in the door only to see my Aunt Zena and her daughter sitting in the front room. And I look at him like, you a shysty, dirty motherfucker. Like, you set me up. You made me think that Sam was on the phone for me to come in this house. Because if I had known my auntie was in the house and he called me to tell me that my mom was on the phone, knowing that it wasn't her on the phone, I wouldn't have came in that house. I would have ran somewhere. I would have ran away and hid or something. But I was in the house by then, and they were in the front room looking at me. And she was like, where the fuck your ass been? You been on Runaway? Where the fuck have you been? CSB, DFAC's been looking for your ass. Where the fuck has you been? And all this shit. So she was like, sit your ass down. So I sat on the couch. She was talking to me. And I was looking at David with so much hate. Like, how could you betray me like that? How could you betray Sam? You know Sam love the fuck out of me. Like, why would you do that with your shysty ass? All because I'm her daughter and I won't give you a piece of pussy. You fucked up in the head for wanting to touch on me anyway. I'm not even fully 14. I'm only like 12 or 13. Why would you want to put your hands on me? Like, come on now. So she told me to sit on the couch. And I looked at her like, you ain't my mama. But I sat down because I know she crazy. I didn't want to get a whipping. So she took her belt off and she was like, stand up. And I didn't stand up because I was tired of getting whoopings. I ain't finna stand up and get another whipping by her. She was like, didn't I tell your motherfucking ass to stand up? Stand your ass up. So I stood up. And she was like, turn around. I thought she was going to like hit me with that belt. But she ended up taking the belt and wrapping around both of my arms as in to contain me, like use it as handcuffs almost. She wrapped it around both of my arms in the back of my back, and tied me up. So basically I want to run or get away and escape. And then she put me in this van she had at the time. In the back of the van, she had like this little pallet made. She put me in the back of the van and we went on a road trip and she drove me straight to Toledo, non-stop. Yeah, non-stop.